Hey pilots, it's Monique. Welcome back to my channel, Freedom to Love Yourself. Go ahead and put on your seatbelts and let's get ready to fly. So I want to first start off by saying that this is not the video that I was planning to talk about today, but considering recent events, I just felt compelled to share my thoughts. And I know that I don't have as much energy as I usually do, so I'm asking you all to bear with me because I'm really feeling the feels right now. So I apologize, but I promise you that I'm going to do my best and give you all my best. So, with everything that's been going on in the United States today, with COVID, the devaluation of Black lives, having a person in power who is advocating for killing Americans, I know that everything has been weighing heavily on my heart, especially seeing all the recent events, the riots, and everything that's going on social media as well. So I figured if I must be feeling it, I know it's a lot of other people out there feeling it as well. So the purpose of this video is to talk about holding space for ourselves and to give ourselves permission to not be okay. Because with everything that's going on, it's not okay. And I know we're all probably processing things differently, but in general, there seems to be a constant lull in the Black community right now, a constant frustration, anger, sadness, hurt, disappointment, a lot of negative emotions about how we're feeling right now. And so, in general, as Black people, we're typically taught that we should always be okay, that no matter what, we should be okay. In instances like never let them see you sweat, let it go, or shake it off. You'll be all right. And while all of these things serve a purpose and help us to foster our resilience, it can also be problematic when we're dealing with situations such as this. There are certain times where we have to say it's okay to not be okay and to hold space for those negative emotions that we're feeling. So hold space for the anger, for the frustration, things like that. Or even if you don't really know how you're feeling, just to hold space for yourself to feel however you're feeling at this time. And this phrase, it's okay to not be okay, was actually told to me by one of my mentors when I was in a space where I needed some healing, because I used to embody the strong Black woman complex, where I was like, I have to be strong, I have to be tough, like I have to take everything that's coming at me and just be resilient, and I have to get through it. And she's told me, she said, Monique, it's okay to not be okay. And in her words, it was as if she had given me permission to not be okay, as if she had said, I see you, I see that you're not okay, and that's okay. Like, just be in the moment that you are in, just be with the emotions that you are with. And that's something that I've carried with me for years since she has told me that. And so I want to tell you all that it is okay to not be okay. It is okay to feel however you are feeling in this moment, especially with all of the chaos that's going on in our community. It's okay to not feel strong. It's okay to take it slow, to take it easy, to not give 100%. It's okay. You have earned the right for that. Part of your self-love journey and a self-care practice is acknowledging your emotions and being honest with yourself and living in your authenticity. And part of living in that authenticity and being honest with yourself is acknowledging when you're not all right. And it's okay. And so as this chaos is going on and as emotions are coming up for you, some of you may feel differing emotions. So, for example, some of you may have had accomplishments, especially with this being graduation season. So you may feel happiness and joy and pride in yourself or in your loved ones who have recently graduated. That's okay. You are allowed to feel those emotions and have that pride even amidst all of this chaos. It's okay for you to be happy for yourself and for your loved ones. Because in life, we have to acknowledge the good and the bad, and sometimes they come together. And we just have to learn to take life as it comes and deal with it the best way we know how. Some of you may also feel anger. Um, and that's, at least for me, that's the emotion that I feel the strongest at this point, is anger. And that's okay. It's okay to be angry. And a lot of times, Black people, especially Black women, get slack for being angry, like the angry Black woman. You have every right to be angry. The way that they are devaluing Black bodies is enough to make anyone angry, especially in the way that has been so consistent throughout history. It is my hope that you all will use your anger. Don't waste this energy that you feel. Use your anger in service to your communities. Anger is a great fuel, and I encourage you all to use it in the best way that you know how to charge yourselves and create positive change. And with that, everyone's expression of their anger is going to be different. So some people are going to want to protest and be on the front lines, and that's great. Some people are going to want to use their anger to and put it into their art or their craft. Some people are going to want to use their anger to educate. We all have different roles to play in this chaos. And I hate that I keep using that word, but that's the only thing that comes to my mind right now is chaos. But we all have different roles to play. So please do not shame someone else for using their anger in a different way that you are. And also, some of you may feel numb. You may not want to do anything. And that is also okay. With all of this information coming at you, the body is not built to handle trauma on a consistent basis. We are not built, as human beings, we are not built to sustain trauma for 400 years. And at this point, it's our own trauma in addition to intergenerational trauma. And so it's okay for people to say, I can't handle this. I need to take a step back. I'm physically unable. I do not have the mental capacity to handle this. That's okay. And it's my hope that if you're not feeling like that, you won't shame somebody who is. Please respect other people's personal boundaries. So if someone says they don't want to talk about it, they don't want to hear about it, respect that. Try not to criticize them for not expressing their pain in the same way that you do. Try to empathize with them and to understand that it's not that they don't care, but they are trying their best to just protect their peace at this moment. So there are many other emotions and feelings that may be coming up for you all during this time. And it's my hope that you will hold space for anything that you may be feeling and allow yourselves to be honest with yourselves and with one another about what's going on. And I also really want to encourage you all to practice self-care during this time. So if you already have a self-care plan, you will stick to it and use it with consistency. And if you don't have a self-care plan, now is a great time to get one, to start one. Some ways you can practice self-care at this time is through journaling. It's really good to be able to get your thoughts out on paper. And it also creates time while you're writing to hold space for the emotions that you're feeling at that time. For those who don't like to write or don't prefer to write, there's also something that I like to call voice journaling. And so you can use like an app on your phone, like a voice recorder of some sense, and just talk to get those feelings, get those thoughts out. You can also talk with and check in with your friends at this time. Chances are they are feeling similar things as you are. And especially during times of chaos, we want to be surrounded by community. Black people are naturally a collectivist culture. That means basically we work better together and we value our communities. And so having that sense of community during this time is very, very important. Meditating and being in the present moment is another way. Crying, allowing those thoughts and those emotions to become physical and letting it out in a healthy way. Also, praying for those of you who are spiritual people, praying and connecting with your higher power during this time and connecting with your faith can be very beneficial and a productive part of your self-care plan. Some other things that I've been doing is to be intentional about searching for good news and trying to find positive things that are going on. So, looking at people's accomplishments and seeing those snippets of good things, those positive quotes, those positive accomplishments, people who are doing good in the world has helped to bring me a sense of peace. Also, doing things that bring you joy. So, watching a comedy special on Netflix, watching your favorite TV show, talking with your friends about something other than what's going on, reading a book, doing other things that make you happy, that bring you joy within, I guess, the restrictions of the social distancing and the quarantine stuff. A major piece for my self care has been taking a break from social media. There is a lot of information coming at you at one time, and it can get to be very overwhelming. So, in order to maintain my mental health, I've been stepping away periodically. For my creatives, take this time to channel your energy into your art, and I'm sure you can create something that is beautiful and something that all of us can relate to and find hope in and find peace in. Take breaks from your job. It's very difficult to work productively when you have all of these thoughts and emotions going through your head. So, if you are able to, take a step back if you can. And I know a lot of people, at least in my circle, have said their white colleagues and coworkers haven't really said anything about the chaos that's been going on. And that is my experience as well. And so when I find myself in these spaces and I have to put on my work face because I'm surrounded by people who don't understand, I recognize that that takes a lot of energy. And sometimes we need to step away from that for our own peace of mind. In the spirit of holding space for emotions, I will be transparent with you all and let you all know that I've been experiencing an array of emotions throughout this time: hurt, disappointment, frustration, anger, so much anger, fear for myself, my brothers, my family members, my friends, other Black people in the community, my students. And I've also felt some some periodic joy and happiness in the accomplishments and seeing the other accomplishments. And that's really what I try to hold on to. I want to acknowledge that it is important to feel all of these things and to hold space for all of these emotions. It is really important for us to recognize our emotions in order for us to move through the healing process. And I know that it's very hard to heal, especially when these circumstances keep happening and life seems to keep getting crazier and crazier, and our trauma is recurring. But it is important for ourselves and for future generations that we at least try to start the healing process and we try to do what we can to move through it instead of trying to just get over it, that we can sustain and maintain our mental health as well as the mental health of our future generations. So I hope you all found value in this video. Again, I apologize for not being, I guess, myself, not having all the energy that I typically have, but I'm doing the best that I can with what I got. And so, as always, I want to end this video with a positive affirmation. And so, this week's affirmation is: I am holding space for my emotions. I acknowledge how I feel, and however I feel is okay. And so, just to recap, it is okay to not be okay. Hold space for yourself, acknowledge your emotions, and know that however you feel in this moment amidst all of this chaos is okay. Again, I encourage you all to develop self-care practices if you haven't already, and to maintain consistency with your self-care practices if you already have some in place. I am praying for all of us, for our physical, mental, emotional, spiritual safety and well-being. I love you all, And I know that we will be able to get through this by any means necessary. And so, as always, please like, comment, subscribe to my channel, follow me on social media at Fly Affirmations, and tell a friend to do the same. And always remember that you were born to fly, no matter what anybody else says. And please be safe. See you next time, pilot.